Hello, this is Jerry, and I'm going to do a little run through on what I think is better for self defense. And I used to think Spydercos were not the prettiest knives, but now I understand blade geometry. They all have a good distal taper, which makes it easier to sharpen them. Um, they don't, in other words, like the PM2 is distal tapered. If it wasn't, if it was the same thickness all the way down, and then I'll try to make that explain it. But if it wasn't distal tapered where the blade gets thicker and then smaller gradually all the way down, as the blade came up and the grind was less, the geometry changes, it would affect that, where you have to remove more steel where it's upswept, if that makes sense. Anyway, um, the things that matter to me, like I used to believe, like something needed to be 3.5, 4 inches was better. Like this was one of the first ones that I really thought were the shit. I still think it's a good knife. Jim Wagner is one of the first people that I really studied their tactics or abilities, their teachings of knife self-defense, and I still like his, but it's not. I don't have the same beliefs anymore. So, but I like him and I respect him and I like what he taught and I like his knife designs. But I started learning from Michael Janich, and he's the one that makes the Yojimbo and the Ronin 2. And I think these are excellent because, to me, there's only one reason I carry, and I do this on the videos. You see me always doing this. It's because if you can keep your fingers down looking natural and nobody sees this blade behind, you can always come forward. And I think this is the best way. I don't believe this is too, what's the word? It doesn't, you don't have very good range of motion like this. And it's not a matter of let's box each other and see who can stab each other. That's a stupid way to fight. That's dumb. I don't want to get stabbed. I don't want to bleed to death together, hours later after we got into some knife altercation. I don't want to do that. And even like these push daggers, I used to think this is one of the best weapons, but stabbing doesn't get somebody off of you now. It doesn't stop the attack. Somebody could take multiple stabs with this and maybe live minutes, hours, or days. They're probably going to succumb to it and need surgeries and stuff. And when I got this isn't the real thing, by the way. This is a clone. But when I got it, I thought this isn't all that, and it is. I would rather have than this because this doesn't slice. This one has the chisel grind, and even though otherwise the geometry is kind of bad, it's just enough blade to get through the stomach, get through the meat and the bone to the, because to me that's the most important thing. It's either right here, the muscle that makes your hands work. If this is cut, your hand doesn't work. You don't have a fist anymore. You can't grab a gun, a knife. You can't assault somebody with this thing. And pretty much, I mean, you could stab somebody dozens of times with this, and they're not going to go down immediately. You have to get like lungs, and those things take minutes, maybe longer, to succumb to it. If a big man that has a lot of power, like a boxer, middleweight, heavyweight, they can kill you with, let's say, 15 seconds of these to the face. They can kill you, a man or a woman. And so if I stabbed one of those guys that are, like, say they're on crack, PCP, not crack, but PCP or one of those drugs, they don't feel pain. They don't know they're literally insane at this moment. You don't even know what's going in their mind. Police do not like messing with people on those type of drugs because they know they can't feel pain. They know this could be a deadly altercation. And if you stab one of those people, like say 3 or 4 times with this, it could take them minutes or hours. And remember, in just seconds, they can kill you. So I don't want to stab somebody where they may run off and die, or after they finish killing me. I want to injure them where they can't keep assaulting me. So if I could only get into across one of the legs, they can't chase me. If I've taken the meat to the bone on the thigh, they can't chase me with one leg. If I disembowel them, for the most part, they're going to go like this. I've heard of it. I've never personally seen it, but I know of incidents. And every time they went like that because the human reaction is to pull your innards back in because you see them coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody on PCP would run after you, trailing their entrails, and not even, they might think it's a rope hang onto their leg. Who knows? But I know it's a horrible thing to think about, and I don't want to have to ever do that to anybody. And I don't want people using anything I teach to do bad things, assault people, rob, steal, kill, any of those things. But I do believe in our inalienable God-given right to defend ourselves. I just absolutely believe that. So I think this is one of the most brilliant knives. I also like the Pikal. It's meant to be drawn forward, you know, you can turn it in Pikal, but I don't think that's the best way either, because to me, again, I believe in, you know, keeping this hidden for as long as you can, and then when it's time to go to work, it shouldn't take you more than 2 seconds to do what you need to do. And I believe in putting your body back like this, standing, of course, you know, with your legs bent a little bit like a boxing stance. And this is behind you. This is your shield, and you can grapple with your left hand. I don't care if somebody has a baseball bat or a knife or a machete. I would rather take a blow to this. Even if I lose this arm from here down or something, I may still live because I have this. And I can take a couple of blows and disembowel, cut the leg, and I'll get away from him. That's it. That's all. And there's not much they can do to me, like with an edged weapon or a bat or something like that. You know, I don't want to get hit anywhere. I don't want to get hit here either. That's not going to feel good. But I can't survive those kind of blows to my head. That might knock me out the first one. And machete could cut you right here once, and that's it. You're going to bleed out in seconds, you know. So shield, also to grapple, you can. If you get a hold of their arm and then you go to work on them, they're going to, you know. So I'm not giving anybody legal advice. You may have to be judged by 12, but I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And I'd rather just live in peace and love everybody and be cool and be left alone. But there are some people that will rob you and, you know, steal from you, rob your home, burglarize you, and I don't believe that's going to work out well for them if they pick me or my immediate neighbors, because those are no-nos to me. I'm just not going to watch a man beat a woman, an animal, or an elderly. I won't. It's not going to happen to me. I'm just not. I refuse. That's a promise I've made to God. It's something personal. So anyway, it's a bad subject, but I think it needs to be talked about, and it's important to me. And I just pray that never does anything I teach go to somebody that's going to do bad things. And so, you know, the PM3, I think, I used to think might be a little short, but now I do absolutely think it'll do anything, any of those places, stomach, leg, arm, it'll do any of that. So I think it's more than enough blade, and cool knife too. But yeah, I guess that's all I got. That's